Hello, my beautiful and wonderful friends from all over the world. I am Silver and I'm back. I have been away for a while because I have been traveling for work, but I've also attended many interesting courses and I want to share some of the things that I learned with you. But today I want to talk about something very special, which is serendipities. So I have learned about serendipities not during a course I attended, but actually I have heard of them. I even don't remember where, probably reading a book or an article, a blog, and I got immediately interested. First, because the word serendipity is very present in my life. One of my horses was called Serendipities. Actually, he was one of my favorite horses, an Arabian horse. And so I started being very curious about serendipities. And so I tried to Google this name on search engines. I couldn't actually find very much about them. So I decided to get in touch with them. So during one of my meditations, I called upon them and said to them that I really wanted to work with them. And I really wanted to get to know them, who they were, in which dimension they were living, how they would be able to help me in my life and in my work. And this is exactly what I did. And as soon as I entered into my meditation, I started feeling them around me. I started feeling that I was surrounded by a collective of beings of light. And I could not feel their individual energies, but I could actually feel them as a group. So as a whole, as a system of beings. And an image immediately came to my mind, which is something that really describes them. You know, when the birds fly all together and they create beautiful shapes in the sky and they all fly in synchronicity and with the same speed. This is how I perceive serendipity. So I do not see them as individual beings. Yes, I'm sure they are, but they come as a collective, as a group, and they all work in the same direction and for the same purpose. And this is exactly what I felt. And this is how I perceive them every day, because I call upon them in my meditations, and especially in my when I set my intention in the morning, I always ask to be surrounded by serendipities. And why? Because I'm very close to them in the sense that they are very similar to elementals in their energy. I think also in their dimension. They're very close to human beings. They are clearly very powerful, very inventive, very joyful, but they're very different from angels. They are very, very close to human beings. They seem to know our life very well. They seem to understand the difficulties we have in the three-dimensional field. I mean, physical boundaries and constraints. For example, human beings cannot fly and they cannot be in the same place at the same time. We don't have the gift of ubiquity, and they seem to understand these frustrations very well. And what do they do? That's a wonderful thing. So what they told me and what I perceived also in my life is that serendipities create the opportunities, the synchronicities for things to happen. And generally, actually always, they do this with a nice purpose, with the objective of making us happy, of making us our lives easier and more graceful, So they create all the network that is necessary for something to happen. So the little coincidences, even the smallest opportunities, the little steps, the baby steps we take in order to get to something, to arrive at an objective. Even if we do not have that objective in mind, they always work in our lives so that things do happen, and always good things happen in our lives. So they are like magical fairies, magical beings that spread around their beautiful energy, their beautiful frequency, and they create paths, they create directions, and then they connect all the dots so we can get to from A to B, from B to C, wherever we are going, whatever we're doing, even though we are totally unaware of them. In fact, up to some months ago, I didn't even know that they existed. I was always wondering how this magic works in life, in the sense that at a certain moment something happens and we don't know even how these things happen to us. And there are thousands of examples. Um, for example, people who meet the love of their lives, going to a party they didn't want to go, or to a place that they had never expected. But it is as if, the synchronous serendipities have created the synchronicities, the little opportunities, the little steps for us to go to a special place, to do something, to have a kind of idea, to be creative. And they are the ones who create the wiring, who create the lights in the night so that we can see, even though we don't know they exist. And when I met them, then I started thinking back at hindsight and all the different wonderful things that happened. And then I saw their work. I could actually see how they work, what they do on a regular basis to make us happy. And they love to be recognized. They love to meet you. And that is why I decided to devote a program to them, because they want to be known. They want to share their wonderful magic with all of us. I think they're very active in the life of children because they are very playful. They have a kind of childish playfulness. They are very light as beings, and not serious, but they work very seriously, but always with fun. They love fun. And I think that they have the greatest possible time creating incredible opportunities to make things happen. And I have something to tell you, an anecdote that happened to me. I had a very difficult business decision to take, and something that would have cost me a lot of money in the future. And I was a little bit worried because this was not my decision. This was something imposed by a foreign government on a company I have abroad. And so there was very little I could do. The situation seemed a little bit strange to me because they had abruptly changed some terms and conditions of an agreement unilaterally. So I was very worried because I felt that there was very little negotiating opportunity with them, very little room for maneuver. And I was very worried, I have to say. So I started thinking rationally about all the things that I could have done, that I could have said, and all the things that I came up with seemed to be okay, but not perfectly okay. And so I asked the Serendipities to work for me to find the right solution to this strange problem that had appeared out of the blue. And then I let go, because that is very important, to let go and to have faith. I felt I actually could trust them. So I said, okay, just please create the different opportunities, the different things to change the situation, which is not positive for me. And so at a certain point, I had a meeting, a Zoom meeting with this representative from the government. And he came up with the most incredible solution to my problem that I have to tell you, I could have never even imagined that this possibility existed. And I was really amazed. And the guy, we actually saw each other on video, and he said, "Oh, you look very surprised, madam." And I said, "Yes, I am. Thank you for this." Of course, I thanked him because was his idea. But I know that serendipities were working for that exact solution that was completely surprising, amazing, and very effective, extremely effective. So I say, wow, this works. And I thought about a lot of times I had some issues, I had to solve problems, and how they really worked in connecting all the dots, in creating all the different things to make things happen. And I was so happy. That is why every single day in my intention, I call upon them and I ask them to be with me during the day to make my life a little bit easier. Even if I don't have big issues to solve, just to make my life more graceful. Or, for example, if they help me work a little bit more quickly, or with less fatigue, or with, you know, fewer concerns, whatever the problem. So that is why I decided to, have this program about them. And I want to also write about them because they're really a special collective energy, and they are very helpful for everybody. And I really invite you to call upon serendipities during your meditations or your prayers, and get to know them, and get to meet them, and see what they can do for you and what you can do for them, because probably I think that nothing happens by chance in life. And probably this is a time in which they want to be known. They want to be called upon. They want to be named, because there is so little about them, and they're really wonderful beings. I was very surprised because I'm generally tune in with angels, and mainly angels, not celestial beings or beings from other dimensions or planets. So generally, angels or archangels come into my dimension. But this time, these beings just came as really a surprise, as a gift. I think that this was a great gift from the universe to me and to all of you, because they need, I think, to work for as many people as possible, to make our life happy, especially at this time in which there are many transitions. The world is changing very fast. And I think that they can work for little things, but I think they are also able to work for big things, such as maybe, political conflicts or wars. I think that together with angels and with other celestial beings with probably more power, they can be very effective. I feel them very close to me because I'm very close to elementals. I told you many times, I love nature. I'm a creature from nature. And since probably my spiritual family is elementals, they are very similar to elementals. They're not actually related to nature as such. Of course, I think they love nature and they love beauty, and but they're not so integrated into that particular type of work. They are very close to our daily lives, and they seem to really understand what we feel if something happens to us, which is very relevant for human beings, probably for celestial beings or other higher level or higher dimension celestial beings. Some things are not so right, such as losing something that for us can be really, really terrible. And serendipities seem to be very sympathetic. They really seem to understand what it means to have this little issue. It's a snag, it's not a big problem, but they know, they seem to understand very well. And they seem to be very happy to cooperate with anyone. Anyone can call upon them. This is what they told me. They're very easy to get to contact, and that this wonderful whole energy that moves like birds in the sky is very powerful. They seem to be very powerful. They seem to have no boundaries, no obstacle is too big for them. This is what I felt. But they come with a joyous, non-committal, no-judgmental energy. And this is wonderful because it is like playing with friends. This is what I do with them all the time. I play, and I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised at the incredible solutions they find for, little problems. Even finding a recipe that you would like to have for a dinner, or if you organize a party and engage serendipities to be your wonderful party planners. I think they would love that because they love entertainment, they love fun, they love joy. They seem to be laughing all the time. That this is the energy that is coming. Even the sound of them seems to be, like children playing, children laughing all the time. It's just a lot of fun. That is why I wanted to share this story with you, because I was really amazed, and they give me a lot of joy. I want to write an article about them, and then I will share the article with you, because I want to go a little bit deeper in my experiences with serendipities. But I think that, divulging who they are, what they do, is very important. So if you want to connect with them, call upon them in your meditations, in your prayers, and see what happens. And please share onto my Facebook page or onto Angel Heart Radio. If you meet them, how do you see them? How do you perceive them? What they did for you? And because this is so important. It's so important because I think that individual experience is what really matters. I think my experience may be very different from yours with serendipities. That is why I'm so interested in knowing what happens to you when you call upon them. I really look forward to that. And for today, this is over. I'm back on Angel Heart Radio. I'm going to have a program every day, and every week. I have changed the day of the week. I'm no longer on Thursday because I'm too busy with my work as an interpreter. And so I will be on Angel Heart Radio on Monday, not morning because this is morning, but I'm from Italy. And so we are broadcasting at Brisbane time at 3:30 each Monday, which is a better day for me to get organized and to prepare everything for you. And so with this, I would like to say goodbye and see you next Monday. And if you really have anything to share with me about serendipities or about whatever you like, please feel free to write on my Facebook page and I will get back to you. Ciao from Rome. Bye-bye.